My main influences come from lots of places. I studied history, sociology, music. So what I think the major influence was what didn't influence my film, which was American war movies. Yes, Osagan is a documentary about my family in the Vietnam War, and we were the last family to leave, to be taken out of Vietnam at the end of the war, and we left my sister behind. When I returned, I found out my father had two brothers he never told me about. One was a communist who fought against him in the war, and the other one shot himself in the hand because he opposed the wars, and entirely autobiographical and biographical of my family. My film is a very personal film. I originally filmed about 50 members of my family, relatives of mine in Vietnam and America, because I wanted to show what happened to the Vietnamese after the war. It's about a family in the war versus a soldier, or about governments, but it's a personal perspective of war and the legacy of war. Well, from what I understand, documentaries, multicultural documentaries, are new to Spain. As I was traveling around Basque Country speaking to students, I noticed that, to a lot of students, documentaries are nature shows and things on television, not something that is a movie that you can learn and see things deeply from. So I feel like there's a lot of room in Spain where there's many stories here. There's many histories here, the Spanish Civil War, many different cultures where there's room for people to make documentaries about Spain, about the people of Spain, about themselves. So I hope that that people will see my film and be inspired to make their own. Documentary production, from what I know and of the colleagues that I know of, is something that is very personal and independent. I know people who do make documentaries for large networks, but it's a different type of documentary filmmaking. Whereas with the films that we make, it starts off with a personal idea, something that means something to the director, whether it's a cause, a perspective that's different, a story that needs to be told. And people who make documentaries take it upon themselves to raise the funds on their own, and often, sometimes they get help from nonprofit organizations. Very often, in the case of the documentaries I know, people get help from organizations, and you end up having to do a lot of it yourself until someone comes along to help you. So they are very personal. They are very human-driven.